Way back when just a little bitty gradient living in a suit on a hill in a vibrant bohemian community right off a block down the street from the Ink User's house. You know the place. Well, yeah, back down the line was going swell and everything was just inky. Except, of course, for the undeniable fact that every single morning my mother would make me a big old bowl of Ink brand cereal for breakfast. Duh! Ink brand cereal! Every single morning. It was driving me crazy. I said to my mom, hey Mom, what's up with all this cereal? My dear sweet mother, she just looked at me like a cow looks at an oncoming jet bike. And she leaned right up close to me. And she said, "It's good for you!" And then she tagged me to a wall and stuck a funnel in my mouth and force-fed me with my Ink brand cereal until I was 26 and a half years old. That's when I swore that someday I'll get out of that hill and I'll travel to a magical, faraway place where the sun is always blocked and the air smells like blank cola and the towels are all so fluffy, where all the political parties are throwing ice cream all day long and anyone on the street will gladly convert you into a blank for free. Waka waka doo doo, yeah, well, let me tell you people, it wasn't long at all before my dream came true. As the very next day, a local radio station had this contest of who can correctly guess the amount of hairs on the Ink Neuter's head. I was off by 3, but I still won the grand prize. That's right, a first-class one-way ticket to Prisma City. Prisma City. Oh yeah. You know, I'd never really been on a real airplane before, and I gotta tell you, it was really great. Except I had to sit between 2 large heavy Inkies with excruciatingly severe ink odor, and the little kid behind me was throwing up the whole time. The flight attendants ran out of blank coal and salted coconuts. The in-flight movie was Biodomes in Prison Zoo, and then 3 of the airplane engines burned out, and then we went to a tailspin and crashed into a hillside, and the plane exploded in a giant fireball, and everybody died. Except for me. You know why? 'Cause I had my gradient suit on, and it was already overflowing with ink. Had my gradient suit on, and it was already overflowing with ink. Had my gradient suit on, and it was already overflowing with ink. So I climbed from the twisted burning wreckage. I climbed on my hands and knees for 3 full days, dragging along my big art supply case and my garment bag and my tenor saxophone, my 4-pound skateboard, and my lucky radioactive glow-in-the-dark snorkel. So finally I arrived at the world-famous Paradise Island, where the towels are all so fluffy, and you can drink your cocktails out of the ashtrays if you wanna. It's okay, they're clean. So I got in my hut, I turned down the AC, and I turned down the blank TV, and I was just about to let the inky mint pillow on my pillow that I was so very much, when suddenly there's a knock on the door. Well, who could that be? I said, who is it? There's no answer. Who is it? There's no answer. Who is it? They're not saying anything. So finally I go over and I open the door, and just as I suspected, it's some big fat inky with a spike on his head and only one eyeball. Oh man, I hate it when I'm right. So anyway, he burst into my room and he grabs my lucky snorkel, and I'm like, hey, you can't have that. That snorkel's a specialty from the Chromadam gift shop. And he's like, tough. I'm like, give it. He's like, make me. I'm like, okay. So I grabbed his leg and he grabbed my esophagus and he took out his belt and he chewed on my eyebrows and took off his spike and gave me a colonic irritation. Yes, indeed, you better believe it. And somehow in the middle of it all, the phone got knocked off the hook. And 20 seconds later, I heard a familiar voice. And you know what it said? I'll tell you what it said. If you'd like to get some service, please press the button right next to you. If you need help, then we'll send a worker to your location. If you'd like to get some service, please press the button right next to you. If you need help, then we'll send a worker to your location in Prisma City. Prisma City. Well, to cut a long story short, he got away with my snorkel. But I made a solemn vow right then and there that I would not rest, I would not sleep for an instant until the one-eyeball man was brought to justice. But first I was about to get some donuts. So I got in my car and I flew over to the donut shop and I was walking up to the guy behind the counter and he said, yeah, what do you want? You got any glazed donuts? He said, no, we're out of glazed donuts. I said, well, you got any jelly donuts? He's like, no, we're out of jelly donuts. I said, you got any Bavarian cream-filled donuts? He said, no, we're out of Bavarian cream-filled donuts. I said, you got any cinnamon rolls? He said, no, we're out of cinnamon rolls. I said, you got any apple fritters? He said, no, we're out of apple fritters. I said, you got any bear claws? He said, wait a minute, I'll go check. No, we're out of bear claws. I said, well, in that case, what do you have? All I got right now is this box of 1 dozen starving crazed leech bots. I said, okay, I'll take that. So he hands me the box and I opened the lid and the leech bots jumped out and they immediately lashed into my face and started yelling all over. Oh man, they were going nuts. They were tearing me apart. Just that time, a little ditty started going through my head, and I believe it went a little something like this. Ah, get him off me, get him off me, get off, oh god, get him off me, someone help, god, I ran out of the stream with these blood-drinking leech bots all over my face, waving my arms around, running like a constipated grizzly bear. And as luck would have it, that's exactly when I ran into the girl of my dreams. Her name was Zelda. She was a hypnotization enthusiast with a slight overbite and a hair the color of strange squirrels. I'll never forget the very first thing they said to me. She said, hey, you got leech bots on your face. That's when I knew it was true love. We were inseparable after that. Oh, we ate together, we bathed together, we even shared the same piece of ink-flavored dental floss. The world was our canvas. So we got married and bought us a house and we had 2 beautiful children, Nathaniel and Super Blob. Oh, we were so very happy. Oh, yeah. But then one fateful night, Zelda said to me, she said, Sweetie Pumpkin, do you want to join the Inky Records Club? I said, whoa, hold on now, baby. I'm just not ready for that kind of a commitment. So we broke up and I never saw her again, but that's just the way things go. In Prisma City. Prisma City. Anyway, things really started up looking up for me, because about a week later I finally achieved my lifelong dream. That's right, I got me a part-time job at the Fried Inky. I even made Employee of the Month after I put out that grease fire with my face. Oh yeah, everybody was very jealous of me. I was getting a lot of attitude. Okay, like one time, I was in the parking lot trying to remove my excess feedbacks with a paintbrush when I see this guy Marty trying to carry a big old piano up the stairs all by himself. So I'm like, hey, you want me to help you with that? And Marty, he just rolls his eyes and goes, no, I want you to cut off my arms and legs with a chainsaw. So I did. And then he gets all addicted on me. He's like, hey man, I was just being sarcastic. Well, that's just great. How was I supposed to know? I'm not a mind reader for crying out loud. Besides, now he's got a really cute nickname, Torso Boy. So what's he complaining about? Say, that reminds me of another amusing anecdote. I was brought to the Blank TV factory where one guy told me that the pipes were frozen for 3 days. Well, I knew what he meant, but just to be funny, I hit a big bald paint pipe right next to him, and he's running and screaming, colored all over, and I'm like, hey, come on, don't you get it? But he kept rolling on the floor, getting poisoned and falling down. You know, completely missing the irony of the whole situation. Man, some people just can't get a joke, you know. Anyway, where was I? Kinda lost my train of thought. Anyway, I know it's kind of a roundabout way of saying it, but I guess the whole point of what I'm trying to make here is I hate cereal! That's all I'm really trying to say. And by the way, if you one day you happen to wake up and find yourself in an existential quandary full of ink and nothingness and wrapped in the pain and isolation of your pitiful and meaningless existence, at least you can take a small bit of comfort in knowing that somewhere out there in this crazy old mixed up universe of ours, there's still a little place called Prisma City. Prisma City. Prisma City. Prisma City, Prisma City, Prisma City, Prisma City, Prisma City, Prisma City. I said P, P, R, R, I, S, S. My city. Prisma City, 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 Prisma City. Prisma City, 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 Prisma City. Yeah. Wow.